Welcome back to MVPs. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Paranormal podcast, where we talk about, well, everything the paranormal encompasses. So you ready? Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, that's probably the right button.
You know what? I don't need this from you right now.
Look, I was just saying.
About for me. I can do it.
I don't need it from you either.
Okay.
All right, welcome back everyone to another episode of our podcast. You know the spiel. I'm Mel. I'm joined with Paul and Evan, and we're still talking about random stuff. And today Evan's got something for us. So, what you got?
Well, we're going to talk about a creature. So this creature stalks the winter woodlands and is plagued with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. He forever craves it. Meat is all he thinks about. He has a true corruption of the soul, and he's forever starving. This is the legend of the Wendigo.
I knew it!
The fuck is a
Yes.
Wendigo?
So Wendigo is so this is based on Native American legends. In
Yes.
particular, I don't want to fuck this up, the Algonquian language
That
group.
sounds right.
No, that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, all right, yeah. So, up in the northern US, Canada, the Great Lakes region, up there in that area is where this legend comes from. And so the Wendigo is said to be a malevolent, cannibalistic, supernatural being that's strongly associated with winter north, coldness, famine, and starvation. He's also really associated with cannibalism. So it's a pretty crazy story. There's several different variations of the story depending on which tribe you talk to about it,
Uh-huh.
but they all have a general theme going on with it. And this legend, predates the Europeans' arrival in North America. It was actually first documented, like written down by some in like the 1600s.
Mm-hmm. What's it
They
look
bel-
like?
Depends on who you talk to, but most of the tribes believe it's like a spindly creature.
So is it like a demon or like a monster?
Yeah, kind of like a both.
Oh.
It was just big and it was scary and it was white.
It depends on which one you talk to.
Racial.
So in this
Oh.
book that this guy wrote, this guy named Basil Johnston, he wrote this book about and mentioned the Wendigo in it, but this is how he describes it. He says, and I quote, "The Wendigo was gaunt to the point of emaciation, its desiccated skin pulled tautly over its bones. With its bones pushing out against its skin, its complexion the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. The Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently disintered from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody. Its body was unclean and suffering from suppurations of the flesh, giving off a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption."
Wow.
That's fucking terrifying.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Stuff of nightmares.
Jeez.
So the legend goes that this creature was once a human being, and there's not just one of them, there's multiples of them. Anybody is susceptible to becoming a Wendigo. And one of the most notable ways of a human being transformed into a Wendigo is from the eating of human flesh. If a person gets so hungry that they eat human flesh, they can become a Wendigo.
Like those people that crashed in the mountains on the airplane.
On Alive,
Mm.
that movie Alive back in the day with the soccer
Yes.
team.
Oh man.
I instantly thought of the White Walkers from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, kind of like that, but like in like a werewolf style almost, but not a
Right.
wolf, not looking like a wolf, like a humanoid.
So if
But like-
someone ate human flesh, they would
Mhm.
turn into a Wendigo.
Yeah, how the legend goes, allegedly. But also it's also been said that can be a spirit that can possess people.
Oh,
Ooh.
And once it infiltrates their minds, they can turn them into wendigos and instilling upon them that same lust for human flesh.
Good God, that's almost
This
like
is-
Native American zombie.
Yeah, this is terrifying.
Yeah, it's fucked up, ain't it? It gets way worse.
How can
it's
this get
terrifying.
worse?
Trust me, you'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
More than one.
They say that it has big, sharp, large claws, dagger-like teeth, no lips at all, like the lips have been ripped off of its face. So it's just its jaws and teeth that you see. Some stories say that it's fucking 10 to 15 feet tall,
Jesus.
Jeez.
and it can run across the treetops. It can move extremely fast. And it's always followed by the odor of death and decay. Yeah.
There's like no escape.
No,
I mean, honestly, there's no escape.
How do you go back to being a normal person once you turn into a Wendigo? Is that it?
I think in like in some of the stories, I believe the people that are actually transformed into the Wendigo completely are permanently like that. But I think
There's-
the ones that have been possessed by it, like the spirit of the Wendigo, are just made to feast on human flesh, and they can.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they can be unpossessed. Hell, I don't know.
Maybe, I mean, I know they eat meat, but maybe if they found a vegetable and ate that instead,
Brush their teeth.
you know?
It wouldn't be a yuck mouth. Okay. So it's huge, kind of like the Kandahar giant, huge, right? But it's
Yeah.
emaciated. So
It
it's,
looks like it's constantly starving, like its skin is like sucked into its bones because it's constantly is starving. It has this hunger
Perpetually
for
hungry,
flesh
yeah.
that it can't ever
Satiate.
satiate. Yeah,
so it then what does what? It kills?
yeah. It hunts people, kills them, eats them.
But you'll never get a kiss from Wendigo.
I don't know
I
what that
know.
was supposed to mean.
He
ain't got no lips. He ain't got no lips.
Oh, shit. But the common theme between all of the different communities and the different tribes that shared this Wendigo myth is that back in the day, they all suffered from long, harsh winters and famine over the winter. So it's
Uh-huh.
believed that, when they would go through these long periods of famine and starvation, there would be some that would turn to cannibalism to save their own lives. And
Mhm.
because of that, they would turn into a Wendigo.
Not saying the Wendigos were actually real, but I mean, is this just a fairy tale, or was there like actually documentation or stories passed down somewhere of people who thought they were Wendigos or people who thought they saw them?
Yeah, there was actually quite a few different cases that have been
Shut
mentioned,
up.
sightings, and also several cases of people claiming were possessed by Wendigos.
Shut the front door. So
No,
this isn't something where people just made up a story, kind of like, let's just make up a story about the tooth fairy kind of thing.
Mhm.
now I can't say that for sure that this wasn't just a a myth or a tale made up to help keep people in line, because it does kind of teach a few lessons about
Don't eat
greed and don't eat fucking people.
people.
Yeah.
No, but
It's
I'm
almost
saying
like-
that there are people who claim to have seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a really good documented case from 1878 when a Cree from the Cree tribe, a hunter,
Mhm.
his name was like Swift Runner or something like that. But he claimed to have been possessed by the Wendigo when him and his family were starving, and he actually killed the rest of his family and ate them all.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
He killed his own family?
Yeah, killed them all. I think his son had died of starvation, while they were living out in this through the winter. And then their supplies ran out and everything, and he killed the remainder of his family and ate them. He claimed he was possessed by the Wendigo, and then he was executed by authorities at Fort
Boy,
Saskatchewan.
that was a losing hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
Good God.
That's awful. So this is native tribes in America, or it's also First Nation in Canada?
Yes, both.
Okay. So both countries. What the fudge?
Yeah, it's all in that whole region up there.
Wow.
There was another case in the late 1800s through the 1920s that a chief of one of the tribes and he was a medicine man up there, but he killed a bunch of people and claimed it was because of the Wendigos.
What do you mean they possessed him?
Yeah.
If he was a medicine man, why couldn't he do some medicine stuff to kill the Wendigos?
I don't know, man.
Man, his shamanism sucks.
It's some wild shit.
Do people still claim to see the Wendigo?
I don't know. I haven't found any information about it from like
No
recent
researchers or
stuff?
anything.
If not, where'd he go?
Oh, fuck. I'm doing my best to like reduce my swearing, but that one deserved a no fuck.
I feel like you've been holding that one in your pocket since the beginning.
I have actually, yeah.
Well, then
You're like,
how
where can I use
about
this?
what about missionaries, like the white man missionaries? Because they were constantly trying to convert native tribes. Did they ever see any, or were they subject to turning into a Wendigo, or is it just like a native thing?
I don't know, man. I don't know how that works when you cross over cultures and religions and things. But what is really interesting is that, like, up until like even in the 1920s and 30s, there was a psychiatric disorder called Wendigo psychosis.
Shut up! You're
Yeah,
lying.
man.
Are
I
you
swear.
lying?
Look it up. Look it up.
Wendigo psychosis. That's cool.
Yeah. And it was a
Wendigo.
disorder that drove people to cannibalism.
You're not even lying. It's in the
No.
dictionary. It's in the APA Dictionary of Psychology. Holy shit. A severe culture-bound syndrome occurring among northern Algonquin Indians living in Canada and the northeastern US, characterized by delusions of becoming possessed by a flesh-eating monster, manifested in symptoms including depression, violence, compulsive desire for human flesh, actual cannibalism, and it's known by numerous variant names and spellings, including
Wow.
Wendigo. This is a real thing.
Yeah. Did you think I was bringing some bullshit to the table?
Come on. Come on.
I know. What
Come
was I
on
thinking?
now.
I should be flogged.
I'm gonna punch you in the ovary. That's what I'm gonna do. A straight shot
Ooh, ow.
right to the baby maker.
It's
But
actually
for a while, it was
considered
a
a
thing.
mental disorder.
Yeah. They're possessed by the Wendigo and they just start eating human beings.
Mm.
All this needs is a little soy sauce.
So here's some symptoms. So listeners, if any of these symptoms present to you, you might want to seek some help. Delusions of being possessed by a malevolent force, hallucinations, agitation and restlessness, anxiety, paranoia, insomnia, intense cravings for human flesh. Well, I got a lot of those, except for the cravings for human flesh or the
Yeah.
possession of malevolent forces.
I mean, that I'm aware of.
Okay, so does it count if people get cremated and a lot of times those remains ends up in various bodies of water that recirculate back into cities' water supplies and stuff. So is that roundabout kind of the same thing?
I think you're looking too much into this.
Dude,
Going too
it
deep.
like it even goes so far as to say Wendigos are described as having long limbs, long sharp claws, teeth, eyes sunken, glowing red, all that stuff that you said. But
Yeah.
they're also said to have a long tongue that they use to lick their victim's flesh, and they can
Ooh.
shapeshift into other animal and human forms.
What?
What?
Yeah, man. This is where it gets really. Remember when I told you it got worse?
Yes.
This is the part where it gets worse. So they can not only shapeshift and look like other humans and other animals, but they also have the ability to mimic human voices to lure people and draw them away from their tribe.
But what if your name starts with a P and they ain't got no lips?
I don't know. Magic.
Listen.
Straight
There's, like,
nightmare fuel.
Yes, there's like scary ghost stories that you tell kids around a campfire and shit like that. This is a whole nother level.
This
Like,
is not one I wouldn't dare talk about this around
No.
a campfire in the middle of the woods. Fuck
no, I would shit myself. I would never sleep again. I would never want to go camping.
Hell no. I mean,
And especially since, I'm native. I'm fucked.
super fucked.
Oh,
Definitely be eating your buddies by the end of the night. It's one of the more terrifying monsters out there.
I'm seeing on here older, more powerful Wendigo are more likely to display more advanced versions of abilities, such as they possess the ability to read minds. What? There's
What
no
the
escape.
fuck?
How would you kill it?
I did read somewhere that there was also talks in from one of the different tribes that said that as the Wendigo feeds, it gets larger. So the more it feeds, it gets bigger and bigger.
huh.
Oh my
But it
God.
still looks gangly.
Yeah,
And they have super
That's
speed.
just weird.
super speed. They're super fast.
I wonder if a Wendigo bit you, would you survive, or would you excuse me, like turn
I
kind
mean,
of
I
like
don't-
zombies?
I don't
Or
know.
maybe they don't even give you that
I don't-
option.
I don't think it's like a werewolf scenario where they bite
Yeah.
you and you get now you're a lichen or whatever.
Oh, so they're not like infectious or nothing.
I don't
No,
think so. Not like that.
I never read anything like that.
I think they just find people and kill them
And they
eat
just
them.
kill them and eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, the chances of getting away with just a bite are pretty fucking slim.
From something like that. Fuck yeah.
Did you come across anything like, how did natives like protect themselves from the Wendigo?
I didn't hear about anything being
There's no
protected.
protection.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I didn't. There might be
How's
some
there no
rituals or something.
protection?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Somebody did say
I'm
that the only way
frightened.
to kill it, like truly kill it, was with fire.
Oh my God. Then you're going to start a forest fire.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
So even if you shoot the living shit out of it,
There's
still
no
gotta
killing
burn
it
it.
because it's immortal.
So if you're going to kill it and it can read your mind, you got to have some kind of plan that you don't know about that
Right.
a friend's going to have to execute for you without letting you know what's going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
In the hopes that the Wendigo
complicated.
doesn't read his mind. Yeah.
it's fucked up.
Nobody gets away from the Wendigo.
At least with like the White Walkers, they could get it with the Targaryen steel or something like that with zombies,
Shoot them in the head.
shoot them in the head. With
Yeah.
werewolves, it's a silver bullet.
Yep.
How does a shot in the head kill a zombie? I've never understood the science
Yeah,
behind
he's
it.
already brain dead. I don't know. Get it?
Yeah, exactly.
It scrambles it all up so it
Maybe
doesn't
it's
connect.
disconnection of the
Yeah,
brain from the
it's all
spinal cord.
disconnected. Holy shitballs. Last year, there was a movie released called The Wendigo.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There
Ooh.
is there's the Wendigo's been quite in pop culture quite a bit lately.
Really?
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
that
pop
movie
culture-
Wendigo.
Here's the thing. When you start seeing a lot about something, this is just purely speculative on my part. I always think someone leaked some information. For example, when Deep Impact and Armageddon and all that stuff came out,
Yeah.
everybody was like, this is so far-fetched. And then you come to find out there's a big giant meteor coming our way. Okay,
Yeah.
we're all gonna die.
Surprise.
Yeah. And then remember there was the volcano stuff that came out, and then, oh, well, yeah, guess what? There's a super volcano underneath Yellowstone, gonna blow any day.
Surprise.
Sweet.
Well,
Kill us all.
and then all of a sudden UFO stuff comes out,
Yep.
and then, oh, well, Tic Tacs, here we go.
It's Facebook.
I knew it.
That's the
Social
answer.
media is the devil.
A few keywords and Facebook starts putting the ads out there targeting you.
Well, somebody knows something, because now if the Wendigo is starting to come up in pop culture, somebody knows something.
I mean, it's been in a couple different books over the years.
I used to read about it in comic books and shit like that when I was a kid.
Yeah, there's mention of it in a couple Marvel comics actually.
Yeah. The very first
Um,
appearance of Wolverine and Hulk 180.
Yep,
The
Hulk
last
and,
panel in
Hulk and
there.
Wolverine. Yep, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
It's been in the show Supernatural.
Never seen one episode.
Oh, you're fucking up, buddy.
I didn't catch that one. You got that one.
There's no way to make this not so awful. You know?
Right? I know. It's a terrifying thing.
Remember,
Well-
there's people that always turn up missing in those national parks. Maybe that's
Oh my God. They've been eaten by the Wendigos.
Oh, that could be it. We solved the case, people.
We knew
That's it.
That's it.
It's over. Where's Robert Stack? We solved this mystery.
You ever heard of the author Algernon Blackwood? He wrote a bunch of like horror stories and stuff like that back in the day.
Yeah.
So he has a book called The Wendigo that came out in 1910.
1910. So all the way back.
They got libraries where you're at, don't they?
You know, if you didn't have like stage 4 cancer.
Be whooping that ass for you.
Like that stopped anybody here. Come on.
Man.
That's for all those cracks you've been giving me before the show.
Man, you know, I wonder how he came across the tail.
I'm not sure. I couldn't find any information.
They have
on that.
tails?
Anyways, the book's pretty interesting.
I wouldn't want to read it.
It's
This is how nightmares start.
yeah.
Man, this is a good one. Because now it's got me thinking, like, how would you even how would you destroy it if a medicine man, if a shaman fell victim to the Wendigo?
I don't know if he fell victim to it, but I know he killed a couple people, like allegedly trying to protect them from becoming Wendigos or something.
Oh,
like
so
that.
he was a Wendigo killer.
Something like he claimed to be.
The
Maybe he
Wendigo
was
hunter.
Yeah.
You know you're a good tracker when you can find Wendigo lips. You know you're on the right trail.
Can you imagine what natives
Oh.
were, how they felt back in the day? Native culture is primarily a spoken culture.
Yeah.
So as this is getting, I mean, they would have been terror struck. They'd rather starve than be, or they're going to fall victim to this. They're going to become Wendigos. Or as they're traveling and as they're migrating, they're not safe.
I think it helped a lot, like back in those times for when they were living through those harsh winters and famine, for the different communities to like share food with each other so that nobody fell victim to this.
That would build on the tribe mentality, you know.
Absolutely.
And it builds on the culture, because otherwise all of them could be victims.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If we don't all,
Yeah.
get along and share what we have.
Which
then-
would actually serve as a good motive to create this tale.
Fuck yeah, it would.
You know, there's tales where they have some sort of moral, some sort of lesson in it. And I guess maybe that's what the lesson was for this. Share your shit or you're going to die by the Wendigo.
Don't eat other people. People are not.
There's
for
also
eating.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's go down this path since we're already on this dark path. If you were absolutely starving.
Yes.
Okay. See, I would too. I would too.
You wanted finger food?
I mean, if
Listen,
it's
man.
between me dying or taking a
me
bite
and my
out of
family
buddy's
dying,
leg,
or taking a big chunk out of your thigh, Paul. You don't need it.
Ah.
I'm gonna eat
well,
you.
hold on. I'm not gonna like eat him like while he's alive or kill
No,
him to
no.
eat him. But if he was
Really?
already laying there,
You
dead,
wouldn't? You wouldn't, if you, let's say your family is absolutely starving and Paul's the weak one. Okay.
Oh shit.
And then you remembered Paul had cancer. Would you still eat him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a real pause there.
I don't know.
This is a disturbing thought. Let's not go down this way
It's
anymore.
a fucked up conversation.
Okay,
I mean,
but
here we
okay,
are.
I wanna
so let's say
I
this.
wouldn't kill somebody just in thought like, hey, I'm gonna kill you just to eat you.
Right.
Like
right.
I'd have to have a good reason. To
Yeah,
kill him.
you all have to be like on the verge of death. It's like in a lot. Okay, the plane crash, like in Alive. The soccer team, they crash
Yeah.
at the top of the mountain. People are already dead.
I mean, if they're already
Yeah.
dead, that's
They're
just
already
protein
dead.
laying there, man.
right?
just-
Dead on alive.
I'm not gonna starve just because,
You
it
know.
looks bad.
But would that make you a Wendigo?
I'd say so. Yeah, absolutely.
It qualifies.
It fits the criteria,
But I mean, wait a minute.
They
No,
use
they weren't a
long
soccer
time.
team. They were a rugby team.
Rugby.
Yeah, a
Shit.
South American rugby team.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different.
That
Yeah.
makes more sense.
That makes more sense. They were tough. They were, they weren't little pansies.
We're not there
The southern
kicking around a
food.
food.
They didn't like fake being hurt, They were really like dead. They were like really hurt,
Frozen
Bro,
human
I'm
dinners.
dead.
But some of them did come back. Some of them were saved.
So that was a true story.
Yeah.
Oh no shit. All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they weren't Wendigos.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that everybody who eats human flesh turns into a Wendigo. I don't think that's what
I
they're
think
saying
we
either.
should pass that around
It's
that
just a
they do.
possibility.
Yeah. Because we don't
Yeah.
need any more Jeffrey Dahmers.
Yeah, what if you eat your fingernails,
Then
That's
you're
just
just
gross.
disgusting.
Just
Yeah,
get the
that's
fuck
foul.
out.
Have you ever seen videos of what is actually underneath a human's fingernails?
Sound good.
You got an itchy ass, I bet I know.
All right. Well, now that my cage has been rattled, thank you, Evan.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're a dick. So, folks, if you're gonna take away anything from this, don't eat people. It's that simple.
That's right. Finger food, but not the finger food you think of.
Yeah, finger food without the fingers.
That's correct.
And on that note, sleep well and prosper.
And go fuck yourselves.
Yeah. Bye. What the hell was that, Paul?